issues with one of our colleagues, little Ben. Yeah, I think he's just turned his PS5 off, so I think we're okay. Hopefully. But good evening and welcome to everybody. I'm still laughing yet, so that's okay. Laughter's a good thing. It keeps you young. Don't look at me. Anyway, welcome to our TV on what's been a crazy day again in the world of football and the world of Liverpool Football Club. Tonight we're going to be discussing the pre-match game against Qarabag, who are no mugs and should not be taken lightly by any stretch of the imagination. And then, obviously, I want to get Ant's and Ben's thoughts on what I watched this afternoon and the absolute car crash of a press conference from Arne Slot. We had Jeremy Frimpong first. We had the Tasmanian Devil, Jeremy Frimpong, on first. And he said in his press conference, and before I say that, I want to ask Anthony how he is.
Yeah, I mean, tired. Been a long day.
Yeah.
Can't really say much apart from that.
And I'll let Ben have a drink of his monster drink, whatever it is.
You didn't have to point it out. Poor guy just cuffed himself.
There's a new thing on YouTube, and there's a guy with a can of Monster, and apparently they're bad for you with what's in it. And there's something come out which is absolutely going ballistic. Everybody's on it now as a replacement, and it's actually good for you. Remember what it is? I'll let you know next time.
Huh?
I've never had a Monster in my life. That's Pepsi.
I was gonna say.
Oh, come on, Bolton. Oh, anyhow, I hope you're well, Ben. Anyhow, and I hope Anthony's feeling not too drained after a day at work. But tomorrow night we play Qarabag in the Champions League, which is an absolutely crucial game for Liverpool, in which they have to win and finish in the top 8. So we get a couple of weeks free, and we're guaranteed to be playing at home in the last 16. Now then, I'm going to say something now, guys, and hopefully you might agree with me here, but I think if Liverpool get the players back from injury, which we know we've had, and I'm not blaming Arne Slot for that, you can't, but if they get the players back from injury, and they sort of pull the socks up and play how they can play, I've still got a feeling that at home in the Champions League, second leg, Liverpool is a team that nobody would want to face. Would you agree with that or not?
Not this season.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely not. No, fucking definitely not.
Teams come to Anfield and turning from doubters to believers.
Or believers into doubters. So, looking at the game tomorrow night, what are your thoughts on it? What are you expecting?
Depression.
A loss.
Well, I know why you're saying that, but I'm not going to reveal it because I don't think it's not fair. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to throw you
Oh,
under the bus.
no, it's fine. I've got a bet on that we're going to lose.
You might be that lad off that, but
I'll fucking tell you that I've got a bet on. I had a bet on stream. I told you I had one.
But this Qarabag team, they're no mugs. We can't just expect to turn up and think we're gonna get the 3 points and be okay. I think we've got to treat this like we treat Inter Milan, Real Madrid, and Marseille.
Well, it's a Champions League game, so I'd assume they're good for them to get in there.
To be fair, that's more of a reflection on us that we have to take Qarabag seriously.
Yeah, I mean, like I said last stream, if we lose to that team, 100% gone. Without a doubt.
I don't know about that, to be honest. The reports coming out today from Wallenstein and Ben Jacobs is that he's got the backing and that nothing's likely to happen unless something dramatically changes. And we're still going to qualify for the next round. I think we'll still come top 8 even if we don't win tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because teams around us in the top 8 have to play each other as well. PSG play Newcastle, Dortmund play Inter. So there's a few games that will cushion.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, I'm glad you've mentioned it there, Ben, because PSG, they're I tell you what, I'm glad I'm not a Newcastle fan, because I think, looking at it from a Newcastle point of view, I think Eddie Howe's under pressure as well. You know, I don't think it's all as cut and dry as people make out
Speaking
things
of
to be. Things to be.
Speaking of PSG, do you reckon they feel harassed by such constant mentioning of them in press conferences?
Well,
They are
I
going to
was
get
just
another
going to.
restraining
I'm
order.
glad you've said it. I'm glad you've said it, Ben. I really am, because I made some notes on his press conference. I didn't write PSG down, but I did listen to what he said. But before that, Jeremy Frimpong, he was the first one to face the press. And I've nothing against Frimpong at all, but the only thing I didn't like was the first words out of his mouth was, "Frimpong, I'm from Manchester, and
Well,
it's nice to be back in the UK."
I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's a fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a mank, So we can't we can't have a dig at the Man U fans now for when they have a pop at us. And Wayne Rooney's a Scouse, and he played for them as well as Michael Owen. Yet they keep slating us, so we can't say anything now. But he said it's nice to be back in the UK, and to play for Liverpool is a privilege.
Yeah, he's defended himself there.
Yeah, he said it's really nice playing for Liverpool, and the fans are amazing. I'm comfortable on one-on-one, so I believe in my own abilities. And if I'm a one-on-one, I believe what I can do, and hopefully it'll help the team and we can progress. Everybody's still frustrated after Saturday.
He's definitely proved it though with his one-on-ones, because he can take on a defender. So, and he can get the ball, working ball into the box by taking on one-on-ones. It's just obviously the odd few that he missed out on. But I mean, at least he's not cutting inside and fucking taking a shot every single time.
Gag pal.
Here we go.
For someone to get that reference.
Ben's nemesis, Gakpo. He's your kryptonite, isn't he, Ben?
He's the cause of my depression.
Depression.
I mean, Frimpong was pretty upbeat, and he was confident that the lads are going to get a result tomorrow night. He said that's all they're concentrating on, and hopefully the result will take care of itself. He said they're not happy with how things are going in the league, and he said, but when you're champions of England, everybody wants to beat you. And he said it was no different when they won the league in Germany with Leverkusen. He said, but I'm not comparing the leagues because the Premier League's the best league in the world. He said, but we had the same issue. We had the same thing in Germany. We won the league and everybody wanted to beat us. And it's the same thing this season with Liverpool. He said, but wherever we go, whoever we play, they want to beat us because we're the champions. What are your thoughts on that, Ben?
We don't play like champions.
I agree.
We might as well.
I think it's... Well, I don't know about you, Ben, and you, Ant, but I get embarrassed actually mentioning the world champions with the way we're playing this season.
Yeah, so
I do.
Until further notice, the team shouldn't be allowed to wear the gold prem badge.
I agree. I think they should take it off. I totally agree, 100%.
It is just fucking...
Because they're not doing it any justice, are they? Crikey. And then Arnie Slot stepped in front of the mic, and he was asked from Vinny O'Connor, Sky Sports, an update on the injuries. Ibu's unavailable. He's not spoken to him yet, and apparently he is struggling a little bit with what's happened over the last couple of days, losing his dad. So he's struggling a little bit, but he's hoping that he's going to be back soon, hopefully for the weekend, for the Newcastle game. But he said, and he sort of said, Gomez is not available, Ibu's not available, so we've got one fit centre back. So who's going to play centre? Who's going to play alongside Virgil van Dijk tomorrow night? What's our window?
Yeah.
What's our window? Or Andy Robertson?
No, he'll probably Endo.
So is Szoboszlai going to right back again?
Either that, no, he'll put Frimpong right back.
Well, here's a shout. If he's feeling spicy, Calvin Ramsey.
Well, yeah, you'd think that, and then put fucking Frimpong up front.
He doesn't. He doesn't trust. He doesn't trust. He doesn't trust Ramsey, does he?
He doesn't trust Ramsey.
Doesn't trust half the squad.
Rio. He doesn't trust any of the youngsters. To be fair,
you know, I mean, yeah, we signed young Giovanni Leone. He was signed for the future, not for now. He's future planning, you know. But what is the? Here's my question to you, then, lads. What is the point in having an under-21s and an academy, and then not using the players who are good enough in that under-21 squad to bring them in? He's only brought Trey and Ione in.
The problem is,
Rio.
The problem is our youth academy is very overrated. It's not as good as people think, I reckon. Because it rarely does perform in the under-21 level, so it's definitely not going to perform at the Premier League or Champions League level. There's a reason we're bringing in all these talents from other clubs, because the talents we produce just aren't good enough.
And then Ernie Slot was asked about Andy Robertson and would he be leaving in this transfer window? And Slot shot it down straight away. He said, I expect him to stay.
Well, he will say that, won't he? Because he doesn't want to fucking spark any rumours mid-season.
But I've read something this afternoon that Andy Robertson's asked the club to let him go.
I doubt that's true. Robbo wouldn't do such a thing.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't.
No,
even if he were this bad, he wouldn't.
The press, obviously, they've got to create stories. They need to sell papers or what have you. So they've got to come up with something. But then Ernie Slot went on to say, I expect him to stay. He's in the squad for tomorrow. And then he went on about the outside noise and the fans and the disappointment and the way they're making the feelings known. And he said it's going to be really difficult to shut down the outside noise. He said regardless of how we play, whether home or away, he said at some point it's going to rear its head again. He said, but I've seen enough games this season where in the middle of the park we've been fine. And he said, when we get into the opposition's box, we're not putting our chances away. But when they get into our box, the chances they're getting, they're either hitting the post, hitting the bar, or they're turning into goals. He then went on to say, if we can improve in both sides of the box, both ends of the box, defensively and attacking, we can do something really special this season.
Well, thanks for the analysis, Einstein. That's how football works, isn't it?
Who's that, Slot or me?
Slot. It's like that Deitch thing you said ages ago. Put it in that end, stop it going in that end.
A better way of saying it, though.
Yeah, but if football was that black and white, then every team would be good.
Yeah.
And the outside noise would be hard to keep away. Here's the thing, adapt.
But he's not doing, is he?
No, he's not.
He's just not. He's. But the thing is, the reason I think he's not adapting is because he doesn't know how to. He's putting square pegs in round holes. You know, and touching on Saturday, Virgil van Dijk, for me, that was his worst game since we signed him. For me. No.
The one where he got folded like a pretzel in right back position, that was his worst one.
I don't know what film you're watching.
When he bent backwards, that was his worst game.
You know, but I mean, you can't. There's no point in hiding behind how we're playing, and I think, and I've said it. I said it on TikTok last night. I don't know if Ben. I think Ben joined a little bit, but I did a live TikTok last night, and I had a pop at the fans, and I said, on the I said on Wednesday night, I said, the fans, you've got to do your fucking job. You've got to turn up and make a noise. Put your phones away and turn Anfield into what the Yellow Wall is, and what PSG ground is, and Frankfurt, or you can name any stadium you want. The noisier than Liverpool. You know, they call us the 12th man. We'll prove it.
Thing is, you keep saying, I know you keep saying this, it's your opinion, fair enough, but we can never be like the Yellow Wall.
No, why though?
Not because the fans are bad, because there's regulations in place that prevent things from happening, like in Germany.
Yeah, but I'm not on about pyrotechnics or drums or anything like that. But
yeah, but stewards as well. There's stewards nowadays, but they don't let you stand up, let alone chant.
Yeah,
that's why. It's not the fans all. I mean, yes, fans do play a small part in it, but there are stewards, the regulations, the rules, the laws, the whatnot. You literally can't be a fan. You go to a game and you will be a spectator and you will enjoy it. You will not cheer, you will not chant, you will not sing. And if you're lucky, you might be allowed to celebrate for 5 seconds. But after that 5 seconds is up, you best sit down again and be a good boy.
So what? So I've got 2 questions for you then. So my first one, Ant. Now I agree with what a lot Ben said there, and he is right, and I can speak about that from a stewarding point of view because I've seen it. My first question to you, Ant, is this: if the tool to sit down and shut up and not sing, why did they bring safe standing back? What was the point?
I think it's a mix of things, to be honest with you. I think originally the plan was to keep it that way and to allow fans to do their thing, but I think since then there's been a lot of incidents with fans abusing players verbally and fucking physically, like throwing things and stuff. So I think that's also come into play why they're trying to be more strict on what, like when you can stand up and all that. So
bear in mind the club we're talking about, like with the new Anfield Road expansion that was obviously completed last year. They were talking about like bringing, like one of those like ultra kind of zones where you have to be like between a certain age group to be allowed in.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that?
Yeah,
it's been 2 years. Where's that?
Well, what's happened to the urchins? Where have they gone?
Forget about all that. More hospitality.
Well, if you look at Annie Road before the hospitality was built, you know what I mean? Before, all right, Anfield's been redeveloped a lot, but I'm going back a ways here now. But it used to be, you used to have the Cop at one end, the Annie Road at the other, and it was regular contest who could sing the loudest. You don't get that now at all. And on the Cop, on the top left hand side, you've got about 500 lads. Right, hardcore lads. You got 500 on the top left hand side of the Cop. There's about 500 of them, and they never stop singing from the first minute to the last. And that was the same when I had my season ticket. I was at the other end of the Cop, block 205, block 203. Sorry, row 61, seat 33, and there it was like a morgue. I was the only one who was singing, shouting, and screaming. But the thing is, I think what you've got to do on the Cop now is, but I've said this for decades. The Cop should be a singing stand only, and if you ain't going to be vocal on there, you're not allowed in. And when you get your captain coming out and asking the fans to wear a red shirt, this is my second question to you, Anne, and to you, Ben. If you were, be honest with your answers for me here. If you was going to the game tomorrow night, would you wear Lacoste, or would you wear a Lacoste polo shirt, or would you wear Timberland, or would you go in a Liverpool shirt?
Liverpool shirt.
So why do the majority of what are on the Cop not wear red?
I can't even say because the tops are expensive because the fucking tickets are just.
It doesn't have to be a Liverpool shirt. It could be it could be a red T-shirt. It could be an Adidas T-shirt. You can get any red T-shirt. It doesn't have to be a Liverpool shirt. As long as it's
I
red.
don't have an answer, to be fair, because I don't know myself.
Thing is, though, I think it's more due to like in the UK it's always cold, and no one wears red coats without being called, certain things that aren't very appropriate to say on YouTube live.
Mm.
Yes, if you wear a red coat in public, you are a very strange person.
I think we know what word you're trying to say, but yeah. I mean, it was almost like you went to say it and then stopped at the very first letter.
Yeah. Well done, Ben. Yeah, you just reined it in at the right time there, mate. Yeah, but you're right. But the thing is, and this is why we did the stream a while back, is Anfield the Anfield atmosphere, is it a legend or a myth? I think it's a myth. Fucking is. And I'm speaking from experience. Right? But tomorrow,
Unless Real Madrid come to town, it's
yeah,
never normally good.
How can I word it without being disrespectful to my club? It simply boils down to who we're playing.
That's why you have to look at like English, in bar like Newcastle or Crystal Palace and maybe Newcastle. Most fan cultures in England are reactionary, not proactive. Whereas talk about it. Most noise, most atmospheres. I think we said this with Jackson as well, like the other day.
Yeah,
it just becomes white noise after a bit of time. That's why.
Yeah. I mean,
so I prefer the English style. Like I'd rather a big atmosphere on a big game and then react like to what happens in the game instead of just going, ooh.
I mean,
but I don't get all that drum and stuff.
The only one that I like is PSG, but that's because it's like or Marseille, because they're coordinated. Whereas with Bayern and Dortmund, it's just drumming and singing the same thing for 90 minutes. Bayern.
Yeah, I've been to the Parc des Princes, and I tell you what, it's some stadium that
You just have to look. You don't
Oh,
even need
it's
to go.
some
You just have to
stadium.
look it up on social media, and it just looks insane.
Yeah, it is a stadium I'd love to go to.
I've done the stadium tour, and I've done the Stade de France as well. And I tell you what, two great stadiums. The only problem is with the Parc des Princes, when you do stadium tour, they don't translate in English. It's all in French. That's the only issue with it. But it's a hell of a stadium. It really is.
Have you ever done the Stade Velodrome?
No, I've done Nou Camp. I've done Camp Nou. I've done Parc des Princes. Done Stade de France. Done Ellen Road. That's a belter. What an history that ground's got. That's brilliant. Done Ellen Road. I won't do Old Trafford. Won't do City. Won't do Everton. There's only certain ones I'll do. I'd like to do Dortmund's, but looking at tomorrow, if I was a Qarabag fan, this must be like they've won the lottery coming to Anfield. What have you typed there, you? what have you done there, you? Come on, what are you doing? Stadium stream or preview of tomorrow? Yeah, good one, Ben. All right, Saki. But looking at Qarabag, if you live where they're coming from, and it's just short of 3,000-mile flight, right?
It's the longest an opponent ever had to travel to for a game against Liverpool.
Yeah. So if you're looking at it from their fans' perspective, for tomorrow night, they're going to make hell of a racket. The ones who are coming over, if there's any coming over, because that's like winning the lottery for them. When are they ever going to come here again?
Next season in the Europa League.
Yeah, so that tells you where we're going to finish it Premier League, and we're not talking about.
I was going to say we'd be fucking lucky to even finish there.
But and Ernest also said in his press conference he's had to disappoint a few lads this afternoon, telling them they're not playing tomorrow. I bet one of them was Chiesa.
Chiesa won't play now. He's injured, isn't he?
Yeah. He'd still disappoint him anyhow, wouldn't he?
One of them will probably be Rio. I'd say maybe no. Well, I wouldn't say Verts. Probably Maka. Curtis, probably.
Do you reckon Becker starts in goal tomorrow night?
Yeah. It's a must-win game.
No, I think Dashvili starts, to be honest. At the end of the day, it's not really a must-win, I'd say. Because, like I said, most of the teams in and around us play against each other. That'll kind of help us a lot with regards to finishing in the top 8.
Yeah, but it wouldn't hurt to get those 3 points.
I think it's a must-win tomorrow.
I'm not bothered. I'm not even gonna. I don't think I'm gonna be focusing on the game anyway. I'm gonna be watching the PSG game or the goal shoot.
I think it's an absolute must, because if the frightening thing is, I mean, obviously I put that thing on the chat this afternoon who Liverpool could potentially face in the last 16.
That's a favourable.
I think you replied that Inter Milan was a better draw for us, wasn't it, Ben?
No, I said Inter Milan were the best team though. The best draw for us would be Leverkusen out of them 4 teams.
So you got Leverkusen, Inter Milan, Marseille,
and Atalanta.
Yeah,
Leverkusen would be the best draw. Inter would be the worst case scenario.
Would you not fancy Marseille again?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them, but it's boring. Isn't it? You don't want to play the same team twice in the season.
No, what my point is, it's not. You don't want to play the same teams twice. You want the easiest opponent possible so that you get through to the last 8.
Yeah, that's Leverkusen. If we get Leverkusen, I'd be jumping for joy. Until we get PSG in the quarterfinal.
Never mind. I'm not even going to say it because it's depressing at this point. Just.
Oh my god! Imagine Spurs if we drew PSG. You'd have a reason to talk about it.
Well, I mean, I watched. I mean, you can watch it yourselves on YouTube as well. There's another well-known fan channel, Begins in T, and they were talking this afternoon, and they were convinced that if the lads sort of have a look at themselves in the mirror and give themselves a stern talking to, and start playing how they're capable, there's no reason why Liverpool can't go deep into this competition because of the history that we've got with it and the fact that the second leg would be at Anfield and that teams wouldn't want to be facing Liverpool. And it's like Ben said, yeah, not this season. We're a million miles from where we were. We're light years away. The press, one guy in the press, he's wrote, Arne Slot is not the problem for Liverpool.
Idiot.
It's more Salah.
What a fool.
That was his take on it, and then he was throwing the stats out regarding Salah. But Salah's he's in the twilight of his career now, we know that. But because of what's happened with him and Slot, I think Slot's frightened of dropping him now.
I mean, you should be glad Salah spoke out, if anything, because that's kept him in the job.
Well, in one respect it has, yeah.
If Salah doesn't speak out, Slot would have been sacked a month ago, easily.
I don't think they would have sacked him, Ben, to be honest with you.
They would, because the whole thing of there won't be a consideration of getting rid of him unless the results drastically change. But they're Premier League champions and we've won 5 games since September.
Yeah.
They would have sacked him, but because Edwards and Hughes are very ego-centric, they can't sack him because then that looks like player power has won. And they don't want anyone but themselves to look like the alphas in a club.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that going back before you two guys were, Peter Robertson, who was the chairman of Liverpool Football Club, he was asked by a reporter one time. He says, "What's the main priority for Liverpool?" And Peter Robertson came out and said, "And for me, this has never ever changed, and it's 2026 now, but it's never ever changed, and it's still the same for me." And Peter Robertson said, as a chairman of Liverpool FC, He said, the most important thing for Liverpool Football Club is that every season we win the league and we qualify for the European Cup. Them are the two most important things in the tapestry of this football club. And that's never changed for me. And Shank said that was the bread and butter for Liverpool. Winning the league and playing in Europe. That's it. My main concern here is with the Champions League, because obviously it's come out this week that Liverpool are the top dogs in revenue now in English football, which is nice to see. You know, when you look at clubs like Chelsea and City, I think that's fantastic. But my big concern here, Anton and Ben, is if Liverpool don't, and it's a genuine concern, if Liverpool don't finish in the top four, don't qualify for the Champions League next season, and Manchester United do, Manchester United financially are going to go way, way, way ahead of Liverpool. And we're not going to catch up. That's the big concern for me. We have to qualify for this competition next year, whether we're former champions of the league or not. It's Ernie Sot's priority, but I honestly don't believe and Ben that even if we did qualify, we'll keep him in his job.
No. Like I said last season, I think at this point he's gone no matter what. Just obviously they're keeping hold of him. Except we don't have to find a new manager midway through.
I think is the club are going to have to make a decision on it soon, because I mean, if it's still a saga late going into the summer, it's going to affect our business.
And the thing is, if you don't qualify for the Champions League, what players are going to come? Because they all want to play Champions League football, don't they?
Well, it'd be a good test to see if we've truly made the leap from a regional club to an elite club in Europe. If we can still attract top talent and top players in Europa.
If we don't that, then we're just starting from square one. At that point.
Speaking of transfers, actually,
go on. What's happened?
Fabrizio has just came out. Has
good for him.
Has he? Well, I didn't know that.
He said he's just come out and said, "Oh, has he?"
Yeah, congratulations, Fabrizio. Anyway,
go on.
The race to sign Jeremy Jacquet ahead of the summer transfer window is still ongoing. Chelsea, Bayern, and Liverpool all in active talks, as revealed, trying to get deal done ahead of this summer's window. Rennes will not entertain any offers that involve selling the Frenchman this January, but will listen to it for pre-agreements for the summer window. And Liverpool, Chelsea, and Bayern are the main contenders for the signature.
Okay, so with that breaking news from the person who's just come out, and from you, Ben, who's just relayed it second hand. Right, you, Ben, first. What are your thoughts on what he's just released?
Well, it's good that we're interested in him. I think he's the centre back we should sign. I said it even when Gahey seemed to be the favourite to join, that we should sign Jacquet or someone instead. The better players. But we need a centre back now. So just go and put 65 million down. I mean, you can end up paying that anyway. Just do it now and get him in. Avoid the competition, and you've got a good centre back. Because Konate's not going to be in the headspace. Leone's out for the season. Gomez is the most unreliable thing on planet Earth. So we need him now. And you avoid the competition. Just give him if needs be, just give him an extra £10,000-20,000 per week. I mean, we can afford it.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, same.
And the unfortunate thing is, if I'm trying to put myself in Ernie Slott's shoes at the minute, the unfortunate thing for Ernie Slott is the elephant in the room is Xabi Alonso. That isn't going away anytime soon. And yeah, I've seen it all over social that if Liverpool do decide to pull the trigger, they want to bring Steven Gerrard in as interim manager until the end of the season, but because apparently the club's already spoke to Gerrard and he's keen on it. But apparently Gerrard's come out and said he'll only take the interim role under the condition that he gets the job full time.
Yeah, basically all he said is I want this. If I do get signed as interim, I want it to be a trial.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen.
No.
If Gerrard comes in, it's going to be an interim, yeah, and he's going to have to accept that. Like he will come.
The thing is, it doesn't make sense though for him to say that. To say, "Oh, I want to be considered," because he said himself. He said, "In any department, I'll help this club, no matter what." So he could even come in as assistant manager with Xabi Alonso. Like if Xabi Alonso goes, "I want him as an assistant manager," don't get rid of him.
What if that's the point he was trying to make though? Maybe he's like, if I do well, then I want an assistant. I want a piece of that cake in the coaching staff or something. Maybe.
Oh yeah, then definitely fucking. I'm all for it, but I can't see him being considered as a permanent manager because he'll just ruin his legacy.
So the thing is, what you've got to look at is, and yeah, I'm not having a pop at Steven Gerrard here, but and I'm just talking as a fan. What you got to look at here is, Steven Gerrard was an elite footballer, and he carried the club on his own for a decade. That's for sure. We all know that. So as a footballer and his legacy, that's gone down in history. But he's not an elite coach. You've only got to look at his time at Aston Villa. And for me, he shouldn't be within 100 feet of Liverpool Football Club. For me, he can stay at TNT and carry on doing what he's doing there. He's doing all right there. I mean, he proved how good he was as a coach at Glasgow Rangers. That was his level. The Scottish Club League.
In fairness, I think he's a decent coach, but I think he jumped the gun way too quick. If anything, if he was to come, yeah, definitely. Villa were European contenders at the time, and they had a squad much better than Gerrard's level. If he was to come to the Prem at that time, it should have been to a lower club, or like a West Ham maybe. Actually, no, because they were European contenders as well. So like a team in the bottom half that weren't
like Bournemouth or some shit like that, Bournemouth, Leeds, something. Yeah.
Bournemouth, Leeds, whoever, I don't care. Not Villa, not a team that were literally on the verge of breaking into Europe.
It just ruins the progress because you go on backwards.
I agree with you both that we need to do something because, if Steven right, here's my question then. If Steven Gerrard, let's say he comes in as interim manager, right? Is Steven Gerrard good enough to make sure that Liverpool finish in the top four?
I don't think it's about tactics with Gerrard. What Gerrard would do is he'd rejuvenate the players, motivate them.
Yeah, I also think he'd do what Klopp done, make use of the academy as well. Because when he was in the academy, he himself pointed out Curtis Jones. Like, don't get me wrong, Curtis Jones ain't the best fucking youth player we've ever brought through. I will stand by no matter how bad he left, and I'll say Trent was probably one of the best that we brought through the academy. But for him to turn around and say to Klopp, take Curtis Jones because he will be unreal, and for Curtis Jones to be at the level where he is now, instead of being off to some like Chinese team or something like that, and to still stay playing for a team like us, he's got an eye for good academy players. So that's why he could be useful in that sense. I'm not saying go back to the academy, but I'm saying if he was to come in, maybe be assistant manager, then he can do like what Pep done for Kwanzaa. And point out to me like.
What I think Gerrard's best role would be if he came into like a role with the club as an assistant. Remember Vitor Mateos, the development coach under Klopp.
Oh yeah.
He was like the link between the first team and the academy. He informed Klopp of who should and Linders who should come through, and he would personally work with them. That should be Gerrard's role if he is to have a job here.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have any issue with Stevie G working at the AXA on the training ground with the lads, but behind the scenes.
I'd even have Gerrard here as like just having him in the dressing room would be beneficial because, like, if say Xabi Alonso can't say anything or the players need rejuvenating and Xavi can't do it, who's better than the guy who literally carried the club and
who literally captained the club
through its worst period in ever?
Yeah. I mean, and had one of the most memorable nights. I know we had or Van Dijk had a memorable night. Well, I say Van Dijk, Henderson anyway, but fucking like the Barca game, but with Gerrard fucking Istanbul and stuff like that, to sort of give that pep talk of how they went from losing to
3-0
winning the
against.
fucking Champions League in the
Oh.
second half. That sort of speech.
Yeah, because when you talk about David and Goliath, that's exactly what that game was at the time at half time.
Yeah.
We were 3-0 down to, at the time, what was the best team on the
Hopes
planet.
were all lost.
Yeah. And we come out in the second half with him, Gerrard, doing 3 different roles, and we win the game because he inspired that comeback.
And that's when he needs to sort of, because obviously Szoboszlai's already technically doing that by the different positions he's playing, also how much he's putting into each game. But other players like Maka and fucking, I know I just gave him praise, but Curtis and like Vert needs Xavi there, needs Alonso there, because he's got that much of a connection with him. But then to have Gerrard there to be like, okay, this is what you can do as well. Like, especially in the Prem, this is what I think you could do. It would definitely help.
An underrated factor of having Gerrard and Alonso as like a part of the staff is the connection that we build with the fans. Like, the reason Anfield is so good when it is good is because of the fans and the players, the connection we had. That's why it worked so well under Klopp, because we believed in him. We loved Klopp. We loved Gerrard. We loved Alonso. Get them back and that connection's rebuilt.
I mean, because there's no sidestep in this. You know, there's no sort of there's no shimmy. There's no sidestep. There's a definite disconnect now between the fan and the team, the team and the fans. Absolutely.
I think it's more between the team and the manager.
Yeah, the fans and the manager anyway.
Yeah, all three really. I don't think the team like him anymore either. They just pretend for public image. They have to kind of really, otherwise it looks really bad on this club.
Keep the fucking wages.
I like that. I'm glad you've said that, Ben, because that's a nice segue into my next question for you.
Jesus, yeah, I'm proud about this topic.
No, my next question to you both, it's simply this: do you think the squad have down tools now?
I think they've been down into us since October.
It's a serious question which has got to be asked.
What was that? Sorry.
I think
have the squad down tools?
I think they have since October. I've been saying it for a while. I don't think the squad rated. And he's clearly a very uninspirational player. And people are seeing how he treats other players who don't deserve to be treated like they're being treated. And it's like, well, no.
Yeah, I know.
Because the thing is, you've got to ask the questions what other people want, or they're frightened of asking. But why are they frightened of asking it? What they're scared of? Not being allowed into Anfield or what have you. End of the day, you're a fan. And without the fans, that club's nothing. You've only got to look at what the football was like when it was COVID and nobody was allowed in stadiums. It was shite.
That was the worst period football ever went through.
Exactly. You know, and that was when we won the league, wasn't it? COVID year.
1920.
Yeah. You know, so
wasn't that period also the period where we had like one of the worst seasons ever as well?
Yeah.
2021. Oh my god.
Yeah, with fucking Alisson scoring. The best part of that season was Alisson scoring the header after his dad passed away.
Yeah.
Like, everything went wrong in that season. That's a topic for another stream, but that season was just hell.
Obviously, bar the fact of COVID and that, would you say this season's been worse in terms of performance?
Yes.
For us in performance, yeah.
Yeah.
Because look at the squad in comparison. We had a very ravaged squad that year. I mean, we've got a couple of injuries now, but I mean, it's our fault because the idiot in charge of the club likes a thin squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no. The question you asked there, Ant. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. If Liverpool hadn't won those first 5 games, where would they be in the league table now?
Relegation battle.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say bottom half.
Exactly. You know, so we've not won since September. We've not won a game in 2026. So you can't sugarcoat it. You can't dress it up how you want. the simple fact of the matter is, we're not good enough. Something's disconnected somewhere. The machine isn't functioning. Like for me, McAllister needs pulling to one side and having a serious word with, because he's not the same fellow you were last year. So there's something behind the scenes what we're not privy to, and it's like Ben said last time we streamed. You know, the press, they only allow certain things out because obviously Ben knows the press officer at Liverpool, right?
I don't know. I don't know
Neil
him
Jones,
literally.
right? Well, Neil Jones is only going to allow certain things out, isn't he? He's going to say, right, you can ask this, you can ask that, but don't go there. We can't let this out. So obviously, the powers that be, because we don't know what goes on after a press conference, they'll decide what can be released and what can't. So you know what I mean. But you can't can't sugarcoat stuff. This is no laughing matter now. This is fucking serious. We've not, like Ben and you Ant just touched on. We've not won a fucking game since September.
Well, we have, but we've won 5 in the league. It's still not good, but it's definitely a lot better than what you said then. I mean, I think if we hadn't won a game at all since September, I think he would have been sacked.
You know, but I mean, let's have it straight. Let's have it fucking straight here. What's gone wrong? Why suddenly has he come in and everything was tickety boo, and now suddenly they can't string 2 passes together 5 yards?
Clock muscle memory.
It's as if all the lads have got brain freeze from the neck up.
It is multiple factors, and I'm not going to list them all because there are some that have obviously been mentioned constantly, or one that's been mentioned constantly from the beginning of the season. That's a major factor no matter how you look into it, or no matter how late in the season you go. Obviously to do with a certain player, but the other factors are, and I've stated these before, it's his own team. He doesn't know how to work his own team. He didn't have to do much to someone else's team because they played how they played before he came in.
Yeah.
He just added a few little touches, but now that he's got a whole new team and he has to give the new players his own tactical decisions and his own tactical knowledge, it's not working, because then them players who had previous tactical knowledge and then the players who have the new tactical knowledge just aren't clicking, just aren't combining.
All he had to do was, when he came in, all he had to do was make a few tweaks to a system that had promise. I mean, it was a system that worked because how we wanted to play suited that system and those players, and a lot of cracks were covered up by the fact that we had 3 great athletes, all in Sobo, Diaz, and Nunes, and Salah had a genuinely generational season. You got to give Slot credit where it's due. He did do good things last season, but he's also the reason for this downfall because he's tried to do something that clearly hasn't worked, and he's not changing from it. He's adamant that this is what needs to be done, and it's not, even though it clearly isn't. And I'm not going to sit here and pile onto Slot as much as I'd love to because I don't like the guy. Edwards and Hughes have to take some responsibility for this as well.
Well, I mean, they can't get away with this scot-free. They can't. They've allowed this to happen.
Tweedledum, Dumb and Dumber up there. Yeah.
So, Anthony, would you, in terms of Edwards and Hughes, would you say it's neglect in what they've done or what they're doing at this moment in time?
To be honest, I don't even know what they're fucking doing. I don't even know what the point of them being here is, because whatever it is they're doing just ain't working.
I wouldn't call it neglect. I'd just call it stupidity. Neglect would be if they didn't spend anything in the summer and said, okay, this squad won the league, go again, do it again, save some pennies. But they did spend. The problem is they spent wrong. I mean, we've touched on it. I don't think we should have signed Isaac.
They spent on their dreams, not on. Well, I say on the dreams. They spent on dream players. They didn't spend on tactical players. don't get me wrong, Verts is slowly coming in and doing his thing. Like
It's more exactly than Verts or Ekitike. Those signings made sense in a manner.
yeah,
But what you don't do after those two signings is you don't go and sign the player that people call Ekitike or call Ekitike is like the guy Ekitike was the heir to. You don't go and sign the guy he's the heir to in Isaac, especially for 130 million. I mean, I like Isaac and I still think he could come good, but it's just looking unlikely for him because this team should be built around Ekitike because he's earned that reputation right now. We should have signed Barcola, we should have signed a midfielder, or we should have put more efforts into signing a centre back. And I did say this, a lot of people were parading the signings, rightfully so. They were good signings in their own right. But there was no structure in it. We went for Isaac because we wanted to make Newcastle like idiots. We wanted to prove a point. Like, oh, we're Liverpool, and if we want your player, we're going to get your player. And you're going to accept that like a good boy. Kind of thing. And that was a stupid move.
yeah.
The moment Ekitike joined Liverpool, we should have told Isaac, well, look, Newcastle demanding something unreasonable. It doesn't fit our project or timeline. We might come back to it next summer, but it just doesn't make sense now. And then go Barcola.
Yeah, because it's weird. You're saying that, and I don't know. You've read the same things as I've read over the last 24, 48 hours. I don't know how much credence, how much salt I'm going to put a pinch on it or not. But it's weird that the person who we've just spoke about, who could be coming in after Ernie Slot, he's named 4 players who he wants to come in, and Barcola's one of them. And the 4 players he's named basically tells me that if he gets the gig, he's going to play with a back 3.
I don't think it's true though. I don't think Alonso cares for Van der Ven whatsoever. I think if we go to a back 3 and sign a left centre back, obviously Alonso's going to look at the guy who helped Dortmund play well against his Leverkusen team. That's like who you say, Schlotterbeck.
I still think they should go and get him now. I don't think they should wait until the summer. We need to do something. But the sad thing is, and the irritating thing is, Liverpool not going to do anything in this transfer window.
No, I was going to say,
how many days are left?
nothing.
6. How many days are left in the window?
6.
6.
Yeah,
6 days left. If we was going to do something, we'd have done it by now. You know, we would. But you can't hide behind the results. The league table doesn't lie. I was looking at the form guide for the last 5 games. We're 17th.
Oh, we're like 17th for the. Like if you look at
the last 5 games.
Like if you look at the start of this year and second half of last year, we're like 18th, 17th. So, I don't think it's that we're trying to not do anything. We want to do something, but the one player we want is just unavailable because obviously, like I pointed out with the Jackie Potato news earlier, he's not available in January, so.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. I might be, I might be wrong. Shoot me down in flames here if I am. I don't mind. It could be same as the last Champions League outing we had, where we performed well in the Champions League away at Marseille, and we perform well tomorrow night. We put a performance in, we get the result, and then come the weekend, we revert back to type.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Because if we lose to I've watched Newcastle, and I don't know what you two guys think, but they're awful at the minute, and he's under pressure anyhow. And Ben, you were right earlier on, right at the beginning of the stream. Ernie Slot won't let that PSG bone go, will he?
No.
And I said that last season. His blueprint was the PSG. And look who we signed. Yeah, we signed guys with pace on the left and on the right, but he's not using it. He's not exploiting teams with it.
I mean, if he wants to talk about ooh, that was bad. If he wants to talk about PSG so much, fucking hell. I'm tired. My voice just doesn't want to work.
No, you
If
are
you want
right, mate.
to talk about PSG that much, or if you want to talk about PSG that much, then let's look at the fact that the one player who scored in the first leg, the one player who scored for us to win us that first leg, and he got shut to him, and he doesn't want to know him.
Yeah.
We could, I'll argue with anyone. We could do with him right now.
Yeah.
I don't know why he talks about the PSG like it was a tight contest. We should have lost the first 10-0.
Oh, you God, yeah. No, fucking hell. I was watching that through my fingers that game, I tell you. That was awful.
I was glad I was in footy training that day because it was fucking.
Must have been a hell of a dopamine rush when you came out and saw that we scored in the last minute.
It was because I seen that we'd scored in the last minute. I was like, yeah, we must have been fucking all over them. And then I seen some clips and I was like, how did we manage that?
Then you watch the highlights and you just face palm like, what the?
Yeah, those were too much. I was like, that training match was more of a fucking joy to watch than this.
You know, I mean, I've watched something today, and it's not Liverpool related. Well, it is to a degree, but it's not on. It's on his second channel what he's got, which is just basically football. He's not biased. He took his United head off, and he was talking about Liverpool, and he just said they're a million miles away from where they were last year. And Ernie Swart, if he keeps his job, I'll be absolutely surprised. Right, now, Mark Goldbridge said the thing is. Mark Goldbridge said, if you look at us 2 weeks ago, we were an absolute mess. An absolute mess. He said, the fans vented the feelings. They've got rid of the manager after he's had to go up the board of directors. 24 hours later, they've sacked him. Michael Carrick's come in. He's had 2 games in charge. We've beat City in the derby. They were woeful. He said, then we do what we always do. We go to Arsenal and we win. Right?
Yeah, but the difference is between us and them is they are a manager sacking club.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they've gone through how many managers in the past couple of seasons, but we're not.
But he said that, and he said Liverpool are not like Man United. Liverpool have an history where they do not sack the managers.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't think they will. He said, as a football fan, he said, I honestly don't think Liverpool will do anything until the summer. He said, but as a football fan, if you're looking at how Liverpool are playing this season, if Liverpool realistically want to finish in the top 4, they've got to get rid of Ernie Swart now. He said, as a Man United fan, I want them to keep Ernie Swart because if they keep him, we'll finish above Liverpool. And for Liverpool not to be in the Champions League will be absolutely a financial disaster. And the thing is, you can't argue. I couldn't disagree with what he said. One word of it. He was right on the money.
Was it Terry Flowers? Was it that Terry Flowers?
Well, he said the same thing.
I think
Terry Flowers said the same thing.
We won't sack if we're not sacking him early, and it is true that we will get rid of him at the end of the season. It's not going to be a case of us sacking. They'll hide it, because again, we're not a manager sacking club. They'll hide it and say it's mutual consent.
Yeah,
or a mutual agreement.
But mutual consent sacked anyway, in my eyes.
Yeah, well, they'll mask it to make it look like he wants to leave.
The thing is as well, what you've got, as like Ben said, we've had an awful summer for one reason and another. But you know, I'm not going to do any disrespect because he doesn't deserve that. At the end of the day, when he leaves in the summer, history will always show you that Ernie Swart won Liverpool's 20th league title.
That's only if he leaves honourably.
Right. That was one of my questions as well. So speaking of the fact that he won us our 20th Premier League, okay, this is just a quick little question. I was thinking, obviously, he got added to that banner of managers, didn't he? Of legacy managers sort of banner.
Yeah.
Do you think if he gets sacked or because of this performance alone, he'll once he goes, he'll get removed off that banner, or is he there forever because of the fact that he won that title?
I mean,
Well, right, can I be brutally honest here?
Yeah.
I don't think he should be on the banner in the first place.
Isn't Rafa on the banner as well?
Yeah, but he won us for Champions League, though, didn't he?
But I don't think it. I know Arnie Slot won us the 20th league title, and it put us level with another club, and it stopped them singing that ridiculous song they used to sing. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't think he's earned. He's done anything to merit being on that banner.
I think you go back to what that guy was saying about like what Amarim said and how he was sacked a day later. Is what Slot's saying in his press conferences about the club and backtracking on what he was saying after the trophy.
He's doing it again today.
Yeah, like, is he saying anything better? What Slot doing any better than what? Because if anything, he's not just calling the. He's not what he's doing is worse. He's calling the fans out.
Yeah. He's doing his best to get sacked now, Arnie Slot.
I think he's just fed up, to be fair.
He's had enough. For me, he's had enough.
Like, there's things on social media, and I find it funny because the way it's so true. He is a lot away from calling Liverpool fans victims or getting on a podcast with Steve Housen and Rio Ferdinand.
Or if he comes out with something like that, then he's done. But what I was going to say was, in respect of Ernest Slot, what people have got to realise is as well, when you work for Liverpool Football Club, it's 24/7. It's not just 9 to 5. It's 24/7, 7 days a week. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Right. But not only that, Ant and Ben, he's left his family at home in Holland. So he's living in this country on his own. He's not seeing his missus. He's not seeing his son and his daughter. Now, are you telling me that doesn't have an effect on you at all, not seeing your family? It's got to. But nobody's taking that into account. That's my defence for Ernie Slot for once.
I'm gonna say this. Yeah, there's international breaks. Every time there's an international break, he jets off to some hot, warm country.
Like, I mean, when we went up to fucking, didn't we
the
go up
league,
there?
was in Ibiza,
we ran a multiple game losing streak, and the guy jetted off to Dubai and Ibiza for both international breaks.
Yeah.
Like, so he's got no excuses for not seeing his family.
Didn't we play a game in the Netherlands as well?
What?
Did we play a game in the Netherlands as well?
I don't think so.
Did we not?
Not this season, but last season we did.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Since he's been here, he's had the opportunity. I'm very, very, very close opportunity for him to go and see someone. Like I'm not going to deny. I'm going to agree with Benny here, but I'm not going to deny the fact that it might have a toll on him.
I think his brother lives in Liverpool as well, or visits Liverpool regularly. So it's not exactly like he's completely detached from his family. Like, yeah, obviously it might be hard to not see your kids and your wife, but it's not like he's isolated.
Yeah, no. Plus, he's got the money to fucking fly them out first class.
Yeah. Well, I hope the can of worms there, didn't I?
No, it's not against you. It's just there is factors behind. Like I said, I do agree. Maybe there's some feeling there of him missing them, but it is a case of he's got plenty of opportunity to solve that with his own money.
Yeah, but I agree with you both, and I think Ben's just come out with a perler. I think he's going to say something in a press conference which is going to get him sacked. I hope he doesn't, but
well, let's see tomorrow's game and see how we do with them, because that might be the last straw.
Anyhow, so on that note, we'll leave it there because obviously you two guys want something to eat, and you've been working already.
I've had my food. I'm ready.
You've got to rest, so we'll leave it there. And the next stream will probably be hopefully on Friday night. We'll see who's available. Let me know what you want to talk about, what topics you think we should discuss, or if anything breaks, like Ben said, if Fabrizio comes out again.
I think the first thing that will break is my TV.
If Fabrizio comes out again, which, I didn't realise you were like that, but thanks for the heads up, Ben.
26 Greg, respect his life.
Yeah, so we'll leave it there. So from me, Aldo, from my mate Ant, and he doesn't look the same without his partner deck. I don't know what's up with him, but and from Ben, we will see you all soon on All Red TV. Have a great evening and take care of
See you
yourself,
later.
guys. And God bless.